I'd like to welcome my next phone guest, Mary Ann Kohler, who is the executive producer of the Geck Trek, which is a fundraiser for the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. Mary, real quick, thank you for taking the time out of your day. For all those who may not have heard of the Geck Trek, could you just give us some background information on what it is and how the organization got started?
Sure. Thanks, Kareem. Well, here's a brief story of how the Geck Trek came to be. Back in 2010, in December, my brother-in-law, whose name is Pat Geck, he had really bad stomach pains, and he went into the ER, and he figured he was just having kidney stones or something, along those lines. But it turned out after he went into the ER that it wasn't kidney stones. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he was actually given only weeks to live. And before that, he was healthy, active, just did all kinds of things. And so we were all stunned by this. My brother-in-law has 6 kids. 2 of them are grown. 4 of them are small. So this was a very big deal. So it turned out that he passed away after only 3 weeks of diagnosis. He passed away on January 15th, 2011. So Pat's wife, who's my sister-in-law, we worked together to try and make sense of all this and try and move forward with our lives. And we decided to hold some sort of event in his honor in October, which is the month of his birth. Terry, my sister-in-law, was given a lot of great information from the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network during Pat's sickness and was given a lot of support. So we decided to host a third-party event that benefits the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network.
Now, how widespread is this disease, and about how many people are estimated to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer?
Pancreatic cancer is a very serious issue, and I really had no idea about it until my brother-in-law was diagnosed with it and then subsequently passed away. I learned that pancreatic cancer is the 4th leading cause of cancer death in the U.S., and in this year, an approximate estimated 43,920 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States, and approximately 37,390 will die from the disease. And while incidence rates have been declining for many cancers, the incidence rate for pancreatic cancer is increasing. And pancreatic cancer is one of the few cancers for which the relative survival rate has not improved substantially in over 40 years. Pancreatic cancer actually has the lowest relative survival rate of all the cancers tracked by both the American Cancer Society and the National Cancer Institute. 94% of pancreatic cancer patients will die within 5 years of diagnosis, and only 6% will survive more than 5 years. 74% of patients die within the first year of diagnosis. And then the average life expectancy after diagnosis with this disease is just 5 to 7 months. The National Cancer Institute spent an estimated $96.7 million on pancreatic cancer research in 2010, and this represents just approximately 2% of the National Cancer Institute's approximate $5 billion of annual cancer research budget for that. And pancreatic cancer is the leading cause of cancer death largely because there are no detection tools to diagnose this disease in its early stages when surgical removal of the tumor is still possible. So learning all this, we decided we had to do something. So our event is a very positive way to make a difference and help others that just make sure this doesn't keep happening.
Absolutely. Now, this will be your 2nd annual Geck Trek walk, correct?
Correct. So the Geck Trek is actually a 2-mile fun run walk, so you can run it or you can walk it, and we have a barbecue as well. And last year, we had, it was our first year, we had just started, we had no idea who would show, but we ended up with over 250 registered participants and were able to raise over $10,000 for the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. This year, we're on track to do even more, so definitely need people to come out and register and just show up. It's a fun event. There's a lot of things for everybody to do. There's a kids zone with kids games and prizes and face painting, and there's some music, some live unplugged local music. There's food. There's a silent auction. You name it. It's there.
It sounds like an activity that you can bring the whole family to.
You can bring the whole family. You can even bring your dog. Just make sure your dog's on the leash.
Even the dogs get to come out and have some fun. Now, real quick, what are some of the details? When will the walk take place, and where will it leave from?
So the walk takes place, the Geck Trek starts on, it takes place on October 21st, which is a Sunday. The actual event takes place at 10:30 in the morning, and it ends at 1 p.m. However, we do encourage people to get there early because we start promptly at 10:30. So maybe you get there a little early, you can mingle, you can make sure you've got, you're checked in, but at the Quarry Lakes Regional Park in Fremont.
And is there any way our listeners can register online?
Oh, of course, yes. Please, I encourage people to go to our website. It's www.gecktrek.org, and that's GECKTREK.org. And just go to the registration tab, and all the details will be on there.
And once again, this initiative, all the proceeds will go back to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, who are doing some really great work to try to educate and inform the community about the disease pancreatic cancer. And I think really what's needed now is that awareness out there. I had no idea that this was such a huge problem and that so many people were affected by this. I think it's a really great way for the community to get involved, to help spread the awareness, and once again benefit a really great organization doing some really great work. Once again,
have a great time.
Absolutely. Once again, the second annual Geck Trek will take place October 21st at the Corey Lakes Regional Park in Fremont. The event starts promptly at 10:30 a.m. and ends at 1 p.m., but we definitely encourage all of our listeners to get there a little early, as the registration process can take some time. There's something there for everybody. We really encourage your whole family to come out. Dogs, it's pet friendly, kids as well, and parents can all come out. Walk the trek or run the trek. It's kind of up to you. For all those listeners who want more information about the Geck Trek, please visit www.gecktrek.org. And I want to really thank you, Mary Ann, for talking to our listeners today about this wonderful organization, as well as the Geck Trek Walk, who is doing some great work and providing awareness around pancreatic cancer. So thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Kareem. I appreciate this. Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.